Specialist Daniel Turner. Fitness is a top priority for soldiers of the 4th Infantry Division. Specialist Michael Cox takes us to Fort Carson, Colorado, where the 3rd Brigade Stryker soldiers flex their muscles during an Ironman competition.
Prisoners, get ready. Get set. Begin.
Soldiers from the 3rd Brigade Combat Team put their bodies to the test in the Stryker Soldier Ironman competition. The event consisted of strenuous feats that challenged the most physically fit.
A 6-mile IBAS and camelback run, 150 push-ups, 150 sit-ups, a 100-meter swim, and a 200-meter sprint back to the finish line.
This was the first challenge of its kind for the Stryker Brigade.
This event came about because the brigade commander participated in an event of this nature when he was a captain serving in Panama. He thought it was really great for a unit esprit de corps and just building morale and physical fitness for the entire unit. He thought it'd be really great.
The Ironman had both male and female heats. Each of the 6 battalions that make up the brigade had their most physically fit soldiers represent them. Some competitors still found fitness challenges.
The sit-ups are because your thighs, when you're doing them, the thighs, it takes all the hip flexors out, and just, it was brutal. When I was running to get my IBAS, I fell over because the hips were just, they were done.
The IBAS run, because most people aren't used to running with IBAS, you know, and that's a lot of extra weight to tack on and just go running for 6 miles.
The soldiers came in one by one as the clock ticked.
Fastest time was 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 23 seconds, followed by 1 minute, 12 seconds, 57 seconds.
And how does one feel about a task like this after completing it?
I think it was really good. I had my platoon out with me, counting the sit-ups and the push-ups. I think they liked to see that I put physical fitness as a priority and that I cared and would put my money where my mouth was.
After the competition was complete, Colonel John H. Cork, the brigade commander, presented the Ironmen and women with awards and certificates. The Stryker Brigade is already talking of another Ironman competition in September. Specialist Michael Cox, Fort Carson, Colorado.
The 3rd Brigade Combat Team is scheduled to deploy to Iraq from Fort Carson, Colorado later this year. The 4th Infantry Division is getting a number of new soldiers. Sergeant Vince Stevens tells us about some things they can look forward to when coming to the 1st Brigade Combat Team.
Two guys who stayed there.
New soldiers can find more in-depth deployment-focused training when they come to the 1st Special Troops Battalion.
That's pretty good training. We have a lot of new privates to come in. Had them learn a lot so that when we get down to our future deployments, they know how to react to the situations. We had 2 new privates right out of basic training in AIT and 1 new team leader in from Fort Sill.
Today we did counter sniper tactics, casualty evacuation, and escalations of force. I feel more prepared than when I came into the training today.
I personally think it's good training, especially for a private like myself.
Reporting for 1st Brigade Combat Team Public Affairs, 4th Infantry Division, I'm Sergeant Vince Stevens, Fort Hood, Texas.
1st Special Troops Battalion deploys at the end of the year. Coming up next, we'll go to a live range with the 4th Brigade Combat Team. But first, here is a 4ID soldier who's staying steadfast and loyal.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I really wasn't wanting to re-enlist at the beginning, and then I kept thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I have been thinking maybe I should just make a career.
All great nations have great armies, and that is the starting point, the political process of a great army. And from there you build the institution of government, and then the government trusted by the people and trusted by the people to use us properly as a tool stands strong because of this big mallet called the U.S. Army. It's just a great honor that I have to be able to do this today. I don't realize how much it means to me.
It's nice knowing that you're helping your country. So it feels good to be re-enlisting right now.
Training is a vital part of being a soldier. Army Private Rebecca Lampman has the story of how realistic training can be for 4th Infantry Division soldiers.
4th Infantry Division's 4th Brigade soldiers trained for a full week on both live-fire and night-fire convoys. The brigade started the high-speed realistic training in their motor pools by prepping their vehicles for the week. The soldiers simulated real-world firefights and conducted reconnaissance before and after events. 704th Support Battalion Combat Medic Anthony Decker has never been to Iraq, but says this training helps him prepare mentally and physically for a possible deployment.
Well, I've never deployed to Iraq, but I believe that this training here will help me to identify targets. I got used to moving the turret today. I've never done that. And driving an LMTV, I've never done that before either. So this range has taught me a lot.
Decker says his unit conducted this training to become familiar with the sorts of scenarios the 4ID soldier could encounter in Iraq. The convoy live-fire course mostly benefits the soldiers who haven't been on a deployment. According to 704th Combat Medic Dennis Karpiak, who previously deployed to Iraq, the training is very similar to live combat.
I think this training is very realistic, and you are able to do convoys and use real rounds, shooting at real targets, which is the same thing which happened in Iraq to us. We had targets and we were driving around. So it pretty much looked very, very nice, realistic.
Karpiak believes the training scenarios will continue to change and improve, which will help the Army improve conditions in Iraq. This week-long event is the beginning of several different training scenarios for 4th Brigade as they prepare for future missions. Reporting for 4th Infantry Division Public Affairs, I'm Army Private Rebecca Lampman, Fort Hood, Texas.
That's our show for this week. Catch us next week. I'm Specialist Daniel Campbell.